Chris Forrest is actually joining us in studio, and I wanted to find out, how much would you pay?
Well, my kids have painted a very similar one that I've got on the fridge. I don't know how much, I don't have the budget for the Picasso one, but if anyone wants to make an offer for my child's one, it's similar looking, and it's got a dog and a cat and the whole family, actually, but you can't recognize us. So
You can put it on auction.
I will.
Yeah, put it on auction.
Half that price.
Half that price?
Yeah, it's a bargain.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as you heard, right here on Newzroom Afrika, Chris's daughter is going to have her own painting.
There we go.
That we're going to be auctioning off.
Correct.
Perhaps at this event. So organizations, charities, and schools and community groups can raise funds while enjoying South Africa's biggest braai event at the ultimate Braai Master. The festival of all things braai is scheduled to take place next weekend at the Montecasino in Johannesburg. Chris Forrest, as well as Chef Benny, join us to tell us more about this event. But before we get into that conversation, let's take a braai tip.
Guys, for those of you who don't know, these are tongs. If you're wondering, they're essential tools for any braai. If you want to know how to switch them on, just double click like that. Boom.
So Chris, what was the tip?
That's how you switch your tongs on. You double click them.
Is that it?
And then the other thing is, I see Benny's laughing there. The other thing is, when you've got the tongs in your hand, then you're the Braai Master. Then no matter what, even if that meat doesn't need to be touched, you've got to make sure your tongs are always there. That way you look like you're busy.
Yeah.
And then you can be like, oh, bring me a drink or whatever.
Yeah.
And then people bring you drinks and you don't have to make salad.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Chef Benny is joining us virtually. Chef Benny, is there any truth to what Chris has shared with our audience this morning? Is that really a tip that we can use?
Yeah. Chris is 100% correct. You know, you got to look busy like how DJs are. The song is still going to play, but they look like they're mixing and you know, doing something to the music or the song, and nothing happens, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the truth. Once you got the tongs, you're the man running the show, and everything you say, go. Even if your tips are not working, it's okay, but people will listen to you.
We actually had a little braai off not so long ago, and one of our chefs, actually, in-house chef, by the way, guys, we have an in-house chef here, 271, and she told me about 6 guns, and I want 6 guns imported for braai. Do you agree, Chef Benny?
Any seasoning that is, you know, appropriate for your meat, or whatever that you're cooking, whether it's vegetables or seafood, is good. So yes, 6 guns is good. Good seasoning, and it tastes very well, very nice on a whole lot of dishes. We tried it for also another braai off not so long ago on Friday with Chris, and it goes with almost everything.
Yeah. And who won?
That was on one of the radio stations. It was the afternoon, your drive that won.
Sure.
But I think we had 6-gun grill on the dessert, even.
No ways.
So we had it on just to prove it could go with anything.
Who won?
Yeah, you can literally put it on anything.
No, we weren't braaiing off. We were judging.
Oh, you were judging?
Yeah, we were judging.
Okay. So 6-gun on dessert can actually work. So we hear. But tell us about the ultimate Braai Master.
Okay, so I think everybody knows and loves the TV show Ultimate Braai Master. Obviously, the judges are very good-looking guys. And I'm not just saying that because Benny's here. So it's happening at Montecasino next weekend, 25th, 26th, and 27th of October. It's named after the TV show, but it's not the TV show. It's a festival of everything that's braai. So there's a big expo. If you're a braai fan, all the coolest braais will be there. We've got braais, we've got smokers, we've got gadgets, we've got sauces, we've got spices, we've got seasoning, we've got cooler boxes, we've got tongs, we've got, you name it, if it's to do with braai, it's going to be there. Yeah. And then we've got the best braai chefs in the country. One of them is on Zoom with us right now. They're going to be doing braai demonstrations, but because I'm a comedian, I paired them with all the coolest comedians. So the comedians we got me, obviously. We got Moja Klahoko, Tumi Morake, Stuart Taylor, Richelieu Bonnoir, and who am I missing? Dave Levinson. Yeah. Is also going to be there. So when you watch the braai demonstration, they got a comedian with them, busy asking all the questions we're too afraid to ask, engaging the crowd, making it a little bit more interactive. We've got a braai competition because it is the ultimate Braai Master. So we do have a competition. In the braai competition, you can enter the competition. I think there's a couple of spaces left. Or you can buy judging tickets. There are only like 2 judging tickets left, and you, Benny or Pete, will teach you how to be a judge.
Oh.
A very quick crash course in judging.
Yeah.
And then you get to taste the contestants' food. We've got a children's area, so your kids can play and be entertained and everything. We've got craft beers and wines. We've got a beer tent, a proper one. What else could you want in life? Oh, we've got delicious braai food be on sale as well. I've double-checked it. I've checked every single one of these guys myself,
yeah.
And they're all delicious.
Yeah, but the initiative itself, why fundraise with the Ultimate Braai Master Life? Because for me, that's another thing, is that encouraging organizations, encouraging groups to come together and say, come and fundraise, and this is how you can do it.
Yeah, so that's the thing, is I think a braai is all about togetherness and people and hanging out and whatever. And what better way to do it, to fundraise, than through braai? I'm always one who goes, if you're going to fundraise, don't just ask for money, like do it in such a way that people get something back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's...
Yeah. So, Chef Benny, we just spoke to our reporter in Cape Town, Natasha, on a Picasso artwork that is on auction. And I wonder whether the food that will be sold will also be on auction, especially the Ultimate Braai Master's food.
I think there's a better and a bigger prize for that.
Okay.
I mean, we get to we get to choose people from the audience that are coming and watching these demonstrations to be the judge. We're always judging other people's food, and with what we're going to be showcasing, to make sure that it's authentic and it tastes good, we take random people from the audience that have come to watch the demonstration to come and experience our food and taste our food, and then tell us what they feel, what they think about what we just produced to them. But if you've got deep pockets, come and support a good cause. The painting looks great, and you'll be able to then brag to your friends and say, I got it for cheap. So come through, spend your money, but also have fun, learn something from us as chefs, and knowing that your money is going for a good cause.
Yeah. Are there any lessons that we'll get in braaiing as well? Because people have different approaches to how to braai. Not to say that Chris's tip around the tong is not good enough.
Yeah. Now we've got a host of chefs that will be doing, and most of them professional chefs that would be doing demonstrations, and I think we have about 50 minutes on stage, so we will be answering questions, sharing better ways and easier ways of doing things, and more. Just teaching people how to do things, in an easier way, but also enhancing, how they then present food or braai in the future for their friends and family.
Yeah. Are there tips on how to start a fire? Because you actually do need a fire.
Chris has got this big long gun with the gas thing that you just shoot into the coal, 60 seconds, and then your braai is on. But there are convenient stuff and ways to do that, and we'll be showcasing a whole host of them. Remember, a braai fire can be gas fire, can be briquettes, can be wood, can be paper sometime, but and recycled material. But we'll be sharing all of that. Like we say, it's a festival of everything, of all things braai. So the first installment that we had was great, and a lot of people learned from it, and we're promising to come back. And we're looking forward to seeing them and even more people. But we wanted to grow each year because there's a whole lot that you take away from the show itself that can be utilized and can be shared with friends, in your own space.
Yeah, I think the other thing about braai, Chris, is how intimidating it can be sometimes, and when people are going to taste your food and whether your meat is actually done properly. So you need the confidence to actually say, I'm serving you this meat.
Yeah.
How do I get there?
Well, just get good at braaiing. Come and watch the demonstrations. You'll see. Then you'll have that confidence.
Yeah. Okay, so how do people get tickets?
People can go to quicket.co.za. Get your tickets now. As I said, The general admission, there's still quite a few. The VIPs are selling out quickly. And I think the judging tickets, as I said, there's only 2 left. So go to quicket.co.za. It's happening next weekend, Montecasino, 25th, 26th, and 27th of October. If last year's anything to go by, we're going to have an absolute blast.
Okay, I'm giving you a final opportunity to give people tips out there.
To give people tips. Okay, so...
Not the tongue.
Not the tongue.
Okay.
Seasoning. It's always good. And then I'm going to say one of the tips that a lot of people don't do is make sure your meat is at room temperature before you put it on the braai. So a lot of people leave it in the fridge and then they take it out and then they kind of put it on the fire and then you find that the inside is still cold and the outside is slightly overdone. Make sure, take it out the fridge well before you braai it so the whole meat is room temperature through. Benny, what do you think?
I think that's a great tip. And also, once you have done your meat, let it rest, for at least half the time that you've, taken to braai, so that, the juices can be dispersed properly, throughout the meat. And if it doesn't look pink in the middle, but it looks pink all over, but also that it doesn't bleed when you cut it, then all the juices come out and then the meat dries out. So as soon as you take it off the grill, just put it on the side, let it rest, have a sip of your beer, whatever that you're drinking, and click your tongs and make it look like, you're busy there. But then afterwards, after you let it rest for at least half the time that you cooked it for, and then you can then go into it and carve it nicely, especially if you're doing like thick cuts of meat.
Yeah. Benny, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. And Chris, thank you so much for your time as well. And I hope that you will be going to Montecasino as well, because that's where you're going to find all of the other tips, unfortunately, that is very exclusive that we can't share with you here on Newzroom Afrika. So it's the Ultimate Braai Master Live, which is taking place at Montecasino next week, as you heard, where you can get those tickets. If you missed what Chris has said, we will be uploading this interview on our YouTube channel, and you go and follow all of those other details, including the tips.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you there.
I don't know how good I am at this. Thank you so much for making time for us.